NRG has put out statements citing the names of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. You've pledged $1 million to organizations. Where do you think we are right now in the conversation, and how does corporate America keep the conversation alive when we know that over time these issues, at least historically, have faded?
Yes, well, I think that as leaders of large organizations like NRG, we have significant influence in the communities where we operate. It is our responsibility to speak out against the racial injustice that exists in our society, but also to talk openly about what we're doing to improve diversity and inclusion in our own companies. We need to lead this change, not just with words, but also with actions. You know, I'm very encouraged, although I'm not surprised, but encouraged by the, as you were saying, the response for corporate America, regarding these recent tragedies. I think companies have evolved their statements of purpose to be, more inclusive, not just to create value for shareholders, but also to all stakeholders, employees, customers, suppliers, our communities. So I think what we're seeing today is those CEOs exercising that responsibility by addressing issues that are important for their stakeholders.
It's funny, we talk about stakeholders in say, the stock as one thing, and then stakeholders, community as another. But I wonder if you're beginning to see those groups sort of commingle and become, examples of where people are drawn to, for instance, the equity because they're impressed by what you're doing socially.
Well, I think it's clear that if we want to create, sustainable long-term value, we need to make sure that we also create value for those stakeholders that we were just talking about. We cannot create equity value if we don't take care of our employees or if we don't serve our customers, our communities. So I think you're correct, but what you're seeing is this, the result of this evolution in corporate America to recognize that creating value for equity holders, it's also creating value for all stakeholders.
Meantime, we've got the virus to worry about as we keep our eye on an uptick in hospitalizations in certain states around the country. You were able to maintain full operations, although you moved about 95% of your employees who could work from home to their home. Where are we now? Is the reopening tracking with your operations the way it appears to be from some of these shelter-in-place restrictions that have been lifted?
Yes, well, if you think about it, the power industry, never shut down. We have to continue keeping the lights on, and, power is a critical part of the infrastructure of our economy. I think it's fair to say that people didn't have to worry about electricity during this pandemic. And I think that is a testament to the response that the power industry had. We were as well prepared as we could. We've had, our fair share of challenges in the past with weather-related disasters that I think has put us in a good position. But during this pandemic, our number one priority was protecting the safety and well-being of our employees, so we could continue providing these critical services to our companies and to our communities. As you mentioned, we actually had to implement a lot of the things that we're discussing today about businesses coming back to the economy. We had to adjust our plans and implement real time at our power facilities, from social distancing to deep cleaning to screening. This is something that I think we did very well, and I'm very proud of what we have done. Also, as part of that, we supported our communities, understanding that our customers perhaps were impacted financially by this pandemic. We didn't want them to worry about electricity, so we worked with them in terms of their financial situation, providing them payment plans and some of these options. We also work very closely with our communities. You mentioned the $1 million that we pledged for organizations that support social justice. During the pandemic, we also provided $2 million for first responders, small businesses, and teachers. And I was not alone in the power industry. So as I said, I think we as an industry really rose up to this challenge.